Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Irrational Review. We are back in your Denaliot. Yes, I just said that. I've done it many times. You should just accept it by now. You know?
I don't like it.
I don't know if it's a word.
Yeah.
Look it up while I'm doing this. This is the Irrational Review. It is a podcast put together by myself, Tinashé Fazakali, and Mr. Bobby Kane.
Hello, that's me.
And to my left-hand side, I also have Mr. Vino White.
Yeah, what's happening?
If you are tuning in for the very first time and you're wondering what this is all about, it's a simple thing. We are three gentlemen who have been friends for a very, very long time, and we decided that all the conversations that we have in our private time should be shared and not be private time anymore, but be public time. The reason being, we think we have great conversations, and we wanted to involve you, your mum, your nan, your gran, or anyone who's willing to listen to our show.
And to record them for posterity, because we're all getting older and memories are getting worse.
Yeah, that's the key for me, man.
This is fact, actually. I have to agree with you on that part.
So, you know.
We've been running for, I'd say, probably a good year on and off now, and we feel that we're seasoned chit-chat masters of sorts. I wouldn't quote me on that, to be fair.
I would say that was a bold claim that neither me and V were ready to stand behind.
Still,
but I would
you gotta
say,
stand up to these claims, man.
I would say we are...
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting it.
We're getting there.
If you're not hooked by our obvious confidence already, then you just wait a good 25 minutes and see the ramblings that will come out of my mouth, out of Bobby Kane's mouth, and Vino Varez's mouth.
Basically, we form opinions about stuff with just like the snapshot sort of amount of information that's out there, and then we just come out with a very strong opinion on stuff that we maybe don't know the most about, but by golly, will we have an opinion on it?
Yeah.
Damn right.
I mean it.
Henceforth, why we've called our podcast, as it were. Henceforth, why we've called our podcast the Irrational Review. We not only have conversations about things that matter to us and generally chit-chat, but we would like to think that we would like to bring some items to review for you guys and your viewing pleasure. So starting this season, we'll be reviewing... Well, let's see. For example, this plug that I have in front of me. To all the listeners who are listening, I'm actually holding a plug, a white plug, for example. I don't know why I'm holding it.
We could have got a better example. Because we have a selection of plugs, but that's not what we're talking about.
This is fact.
But it could be anything.
It would be more interesting than that. Would be more plugs.
We can compare things. So compare... I don't know, like home brand. We'll compare donuts.
The donuts thing I'm liking the most.
I could go and get a Tesco's donut, a Sainsbury's donut.
Have you ever wondered the differences between a Waitrose
anything?
donut
We're willing to try things, see things, look at things, watch things, read things. Whatever you're reckoning, we'll give it a go.
Awesome. So actually, let's give people a bit more of an understanding of why we have come together to be in this room and how we've come to be in this room together. We've known each other for between, I think, 16 and 20 years. I can't
something like that.
Bothered to put down the exact number.
20
but
plus.
Long enough to be able
plus
to...
on all of us.
Is it 20 plus?
Yeah, it's about 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, it's true.
20 plus.
I mean, to the point where it's okay for one of us to, for example, tell the other, your bed stinks really bad today.
Breath, yeah, your breath stinks.
That was funny as shit.
I mean...
Yeah, mates it is, mates.
It was fair.
Yeah,
it was
mates,
fair.
mates.
Or we're that comfortable. We've not got to the point where I don't know, what are uncomfortable things for friends to do?
Well,
those things.
Yeah,
there's things that we don't do, but there's things that we are honest with each other to the point of brutal.
Yeah.
I would say.
Proper
I would say
mates.
I'm happy to say that it was me saying that Tino's breath stank.
But the thing is, it's been. I haven't spoken to anyone all day, so you know when you have that kind of whole thing, you kind of kept
like
it close.
Sarcophagus mouth.
Yeah,
like it's a bit like some sort of medieval,
Jeez,
sarcophagus mouth.
Yeah, like what I can imagine. It's
like a
if you cut open a mummy's
dry
mouth.
mummy. Yeah, just.
Yeah. You know,
all I can figure is that movie Mummy
yeah,
when they open his
and a little bit of dust of air. That was the
gold.
breath that I was hit with. Yeah,
Let's go.
Come on, man.
I lost an eyebrow too. I think. I don't know. I think it's still there, but
okay. I mean, I'm trying to solve it with the protein balls and Ribena. That's the fix for bad breath.
We're all good.
I've heard. Yeah, cool. Is that what you're keeping your distance for?
Well, I don't know. I just happen to be here.
Yeah,
the furthest point away from you, but it's coincidence, not intentional.
I like to think of myself as a very manly man, and what was that about?
I'm just saying, yeah.
What do you mean?
You think of yourself as a manly man,
Yeah,
but
I'm a manly man.
You're probably the most sensitive out of a lot of us, I would say.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, bruv. 100%. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? In any way, are you not the most sensitive, delicate one out of us lot?
I mean,
I know you're going to the gym now.
Yeah, that's the manly bit.
It's because he goes to the gym. He's going to talk about protein balls for the next 4 months or whatever it is.
doing them sets.
This next series is going to take. But he's at the gym. He's very manly. He will talk about his amazing knack at football. He was great at football.
Oh God!
But then once again, like he says, in his mind.
Yes.
We live in reality,
fact.
and he's a lovely man, but he's a delicate soul.
Thanks for that. I appreciate it. I mean, I will say, because of my profession, perhaps I'm a bit of a softer person at heart, but when it comes to certain things... Oh, speaking of which, actually, I was in the gym and I was watching...
Not even 2 seconds. Not even 2 seconds. But yeah, go on.
So to all the listeners out there who may not have listened to an episode before, every time I mention the gym, these guys find it hilarious because apparently I transform into one of those guys who feels the need to tell you about how much they go to the gym and blah, 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 blah. We'll bypass that for today.
Thanks.
All right? Thanks. Yeah. So this guy was telling me about how he had really bad genes, and no matter what he tried to do, he would be lifting for years and years, ranging in weights and reps and all this kind of stuff. And he figured out basically that his testosterone level just wasn't as high
Brutal.
as the average man. So every time that he tried as hard as the person next to him, his muscles just wouldn't grow as well. And I was kind of like, oh man, that's got to be tough.
That's like kicking a pose, bro.
Yeah, but genetics.
Literally, and that would probably cause a drop in testosterone.
Poor fellow.
Yeah.
I mean, I refrained from kicking him in the balls to check.
Sounds like he's already had a couple of
He's
kicks
had a
there, man. I
few,
don't
I
think he
think.
needs any more, man.
I mean, it was an uncomfortable conversation, but it got me thinking about a story that was in the news recently, and it's been floating around for years now about an athlete, a South African athlete by the name of...
The runner.
Caster Semenya, I think her name is. I don't know
Olympic
what
champion. She's still Olympic champion.
Yeah, I think she is. We'll have a little look on Google to see what the deal
so
is.
it says...
You got your little search up.
Yeah, she is what the story is basically.
Yeah.
So we'll give an overview and then we'll look into the career. So you tell them what the story is, and I'll find out what her career.
Yeah. So you
is.
stall for time. I will tell the story.
Exactly.
Essentially, Caster Semenya, amazing female athlete, runner. I think she runs
800 meters
yeah.
Olympic champion.
Yeah, nicely tagged. So your Google's actually decided to work, but she's been having a time of it from the beginning of her career because she was clearly so gifted that she'd leave all of her competitors for dust.
She's like the Usain Bolt of her category, essentially, where she just like leave her off for dead and be like miles ahead, almost at the finishing line, and people are still trying to come around that third corner or some shit. So
you'd think that perhaps people would say, well, congratulations, you just happen to have the genetics that allow for you to run much faster than all the competitors. But of course, those sour grapes are very, very readily available in all, shops and departments of life, as it were.
Yeah.
So it turns out that since she started running, people have been making kind of suggestions or kind of painting her as somebody who's unnaturally fast. Something to do with the fact that she couldn't... At first, I remember it started with saying, sure, she's a woman who's definitely had something done to her of sorts. Or, she's taking some kind of drugs, and that was proven to not be the case. And then they went into looking into her actual biology. The IAAF, I believe, is the governing body. That's the one, who look into, obviously, all athletes who are competing. Have now put her in a position where they've tested her testosterone levels and they've realised that she has far more testosterone
than most
women. Which, of course, would then allow for her, like this chap in the gym, to grow muscles faster. Her quads must be insane.
Oh, bro, you
glutes
should see
insane.
pictures of this young lady, man. Just muscle.
Yeah, but I think that's a great thing. Is that not?
But hey, don't get me wrong, man. Power to her.
It depends. If it's a natural, if she's just a lady that has natural high levels of testosterone,
Which is what it looks like from my standpoint.
then it's fine. But like they say, like the issue with transgender women running with other women is the hormone difference, because even though they've made the transition,
Still a man, technically.
they still have a testosterone level or a hormone level that's higher than the other female athletes. So it'd be tricky to join them. So what it looks like, according to what I was just quickly trying to read, so I was briefly silent, is that they're looking to maybe limit the amount of testosterone in your blood, so that so to make it more of a level playing field.
Yeah.
Which I think is harsh if it's natural. I think if you've got a natural disposition, but then obviously if you are transitioning and you're transgender, for example, separate issue really, but you are on meds to maintain that transition. Also, athletes can take advantage of this, and I mean, I don't know if it's allowed or not allowed now to be injected with testosterone.
No, it's not.
It's
still banned in male and female athletes across pretty much every sport going.
And but I wonder if that includes weightlifting.
Yeah, even weightlifting. I think weightlifting. I'm not too sure exactly weightlifting, but I think you're allowed to take certain things like creatine and that kind of shit to build muscle mass and stuff. But you can't like inject anything into your bloodstream to aid the genetics on that front, if that makes sense.
So apparently the International Olympic Committee advises on model regulations for transgender athletes. It's a lady called Joanna Harper, who herself has transitioned. She's waiting on the IOC to see what happens in the Semenya case before announcing its testosterone limits for transgender athletes in women's events from 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. So I think the plan is that they are going to work out whatever the decision is made about this lady. If it's whatever, if hers are all completely natural, then they can obviously decide that that's got to be the benchmark of a natural.
Yeah, it has to.
It's a big decision, isn't it? Because it will change all the athlete community, wouldn't it really? And then you've got to think back about all the athletes who have won awards in the past who may have had a higher testosterone count, and then people would be like, well, hang on a second.
Well, that's what they're saying. I mean, her previous 800-meter gold or medal, Olympic championship status,
2012 Olympics or something like that, or something,
is now being reviewed. It's just like old when
every medal she's won is essentially since
what was that bicyclist called? Cyclist?
Not Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong. It's like the whole thing of like he got stripped of his
7.
Apart from the fact that she was just born.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
she was born.
She
still trained just as hard as any of the athletes.
He was cheating, but are they definitely not saying that there's no suggestions that at all it's not unnatural? Or?
It's as far as they've been able to test, according to my recollection, it's natural, and they can't say for definite if it's been enhanced with injections or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, from everything I've read and everything I've kept up with the story so far, it's a natural occurrence, and she just happens to be on that upper end of the spectrum in terms of testosterone. So she's bigger, stronger, and faster than most women in her category.
But when will it stop? Were they going to go to, I don't know, they're going to go to Serena fucking Williams in a minute and be like,
hey, they tried though.
You've got some mad quads going on there. Come over here.
They've been trying to get Serena for a while, but again, once you go through the test and all that kind of jazz, it comes down to this is just natural. Like, what were you going to say? That's just the way her genetics are.
Which will be weird, because what will happen? What are they going to start excluding people? They'll go, oh, naturally, you're an amazing athlete. You're an amazing athlete. Oh,
but
hang on a second.
It's completely
but
screwed.
It turns out you've got too much natural testosterone in your bloodstream, so you can't run.
Yeah.
Oh, well, can I go and run
in?
Oh, you can't run in the standard league. You're going to have to go, what? We're going to have some sort of league of like
transgender in between, or upper echelons, lower echelons.
Yeah, or can I run in the fucking men's competitions since I've got such a high...
but then what are they going to start doing, like some mad Olympics where you are allowed to take as much testosterone as you want or whatever, and then unfortunately natural athletes with that
maybe they should
caliber might have to be up. I mean, it would be quite fun to watch people take as much shit as they can and have an epic
see what the human can actually do. I can jump over this building.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing.
Just to pump it up athletes.
Yeah,
man.
Like an intense, like the Super League. I could see it being made like quite instantly. American sort of jumped on it. It'd be like, like when they took that TV show Gladiators, and then they took it over to America and they tried to soup it up a little bit.
Did that happen?
They have to, man. It's Americans.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah,
Was it? I don't remember. It must have been terrible then in that case.
No, I used to watch it as a kid. I used to love that.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as we had Shadow.
I can't remember their names of any of them people. But
sorry, I just
Shadow
flashback.
Got some sort of like superhuman league with pumped up machines.
Yeah, like as much of what's that? Steroids. Dudes with as much steroids as you can fit in them. Like these guys are like hyped up. They're full roid rage just before they go on the thing.
It might turn into the WWE though, man. Well, all that roid rage just running around.
That is what WWE is, isn't it? Just pump a load of old fellas full of steroids and then make them
go out there and
Go out there
run
and
jump
fight.
and shit.
fight.
Because
basically.
90% of it's just them shouting like really aggressively down the mic. You can see every vein
Yeah,
popping
in the
out,
neck.
going.
Some good acting though.
When I was a kid,
No,
though,
it's,
man,
it's not good acting. It's not
Listen,
good
it's
acting.
produced. It gave us The Rock. Damn it, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
You
that
know,
guy's not come up, man. He's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so you know, recently I went off to New Zealand.
Yeah.
If you're listening, we had a little bit of a break from our last load of recordings, and we've all been away and done our bits and bobs in our life. I went New Zealand. Like The Rock in New Zealand, they love him, and I mean like love him. He's like. You couldn't even say one bad word about him. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that anyone has a bad word to say about him.
No,
To be
true.
fair, he does seem like quite a nice guy.
And
Yeah, but
he
I
would
just
beat you
respect
up
his
if you get it
hustle.
wrong.
But
Yeah.
his hustle's epic, and he's quite funny.
He's a big fella as well.
He's a big fella, and obviously, but he does seem like quite nice. But to the point of like he's like a national hero, and I was like, oh, is he from New Zealand? They're like,
But there is
no.
this mad sort
Samoan.
of
But it's because
Kiwi-
he's Polynesian. He's got a Polynesian Samoan,
yeah.
and then that's the same as the Maori.
Pacific Islands.
And then that film Moana.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
was the
he
finishing
did-
move, wasn't it?
yeah. Oh,
he's
yeah, you're right,
he's
innit?
they honestly like he's
What is it? You're welcome.
I ain't seen
Yeah,
it.
that song, whatever that song is, yeah.
Or to anyone listening and was wondering what I'm doing, I wasn't just singing "You're Welcome to Bobby," but obviously, Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in the movie Manoa, and there was one particular song that was really, really great in it that has now become like almost like a cult classic, similar to like the whole
Let It
Greatest Showman
Snow.
thing, where all those songs weren't really expected to be
yeah.
chart-topping.
Well,
songs,
like
but
that new song with Lady Gaga and
Yeah.
Mr. Cooper.
Brad
Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
Yeah.
Which you know what?
Have you seen it?
Yeah, they sang it at the what was that thing called the other day?
Oscars.
Oscars, yeah. I was watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
And I'm so chuffed that what's her name from the Peep Show.
Oh shit! Yeah,
She
that was
won
amazing.
the best actress.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
I
her
don't
name.
know her name.
Let's
but
have a look. It's from the Peep Show.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, lady, one English lady. She played Queen Margaret or Queen Mary.
Yeah, in
or
the film The
something.
Favourite, which is a good
I haven't
film,
seen
and
that.
she's
Olivia something, wasn't it?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she's become some.
She
kind
was
of
an amazing. She
megastar.
was great in the film. I have to say, it was
And
funny, touching. She's like very expressive with her eyes. She would like sold it completely. I was trapped, and it's not really my kind of film. It's a period drama.
Yeah.
I do like Emma Stone.
We know this very, very much. So.
Not like a.
She's.
I've never stood outside her house or nothing. You've not made it sound like I've got some sort of
No, but you've got a certain kind of girl that you know it's just an automatic go.
what
Like
pretty ones.
Anyone in East London, basically.
Mostly pretty.
Yeah.
No, what I like hipsters. Yeah, I do like hipsters. No, I do have a weird thing for them. I don't know what it. I don't know what the evil laugh was.
Seriously creepy ass shit.
I married a
You're gonna
hipster,
rub
though,
your
didn't
knees
I?
now.
So I
Is
married a
it- is it-
hipster. As you can tell, because we're recording today's episode in my house.
In your gaff.
You can't. I don't know if you can pick them up, or if anyone. I've got plant life everywhere. It's like little mini Kew gardens in my house now, because that's the rule. Hipsters need plants. There's like a campaign out there.
It's a good rule, man. That's a good rule.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good.
I'm
It's
with
good.
it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to have a surface that you could maybe use in your own house, but no, everything's got to have a plant on it.
Well,
You
the
got
greenery.
to let him live, man. You got to let him live. You know what? Going from one character, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who is obviously a beacon for everything good. I was on the train the other day, and somebody was having a conversation about one of my favorite artists of all time to a degree. I'd say probably about a year ago, until I found out some seriously bad shit about him.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to say the
What
name?
is this?
Say his name.
I'm going to say his name,
Do it.
Mr. R.Kelly.
Oh, Robert Kelly.
You were a big fan of his up until a year ago.
Yeah. And hear me out.
I mean, bruv, these rumours have been going around for a long time.
I know. This is the fucked up thing about
And to
R.
the point
Kelly.
of like, I don't understand it. When we've all seen a video,
I didn't see the video.
I mean, I've not seen the video, but I've seen stills
I haven't seen
enough
stills either.
times.
I don't know what
to be
sites
like-
you're surfing, but I've not seen any
I
stills.
choose. I choose not to look at that shit.
Yeah.
Bruv,
Yeah, I know. But,
we
you
all
know.
grew up in the.
No. Not it's
90s.
into, but
Yeah.
I've never come across it, and I think the reason I'm bringing this up as well is because of exactly my experience.
Oh, no.
I think sometimes we have a tendency to almost blur the lines between what's right and what's wrong when a celebrity is involved.
Yeah.
So if for anyone listening at the second, all our listeners, R. Kelly,
Allegedly.
R&B singer,
Oh,
many massive hits. I Believe I Can Fly, Gotham City.
AJ Nothing But a Number.
AJ Nothing But a Number.
He wrote that for someone else.
You remind me of my Jeep. It gets darker and darker the more that you say it.
In the
Remind me
closet,
of
what was
G.
the other one called?
Yeah,
The one in the closet, what was that?
I remember that.
There's a midget in my closet or something like that.
Midget. That's a derogatory term, I'm sure.
It's his song, mate.
There's a little person in my closet.
That's not how the song-
correct
you
way
tell
to
him,
say
bro.
it now.
Mate, that's
I know.
That's
but
not how
I'm
the
just-
song goes.
Just to let
It's
you know,
okay,
mate.
it's too late.
You know the
we all
song.
make mistakes, man.
There's a midget in my closet.
It's not how it goes. There's not the title of the song. Is that really the title of the song?
I think so.
You gotta Google this,
I'm
mate.
Googling it.
R.Kelly
But
midget
what-
in.
Can you Google this while I'm doing this?
Sorry,
Yeah.
little person in the closet.
You know this is getting cut. Travis is going to be like, oh, cut. Anyway.
This is a true thing. I don't think this is the most outrageous thing that R. Kelly's been
No,
accused
it's not.
of.
It's not.
It's not
To be
him
fair.
saying, "Oh, I've got a midget in the cupboard," and going, "Mate, you shouldn't use the word midget. You shouldn't also allegedly piss on a 15-year-old or lock up women in like houses all
let's
over the
Let's
place."
give our listeners some context. Okay?
Right.
So basically, R&B singer R. Kelly. And hold that thought for a second, Vino. Please, I'm sure it's might be some truth in it. He has allegedly been accused of, I believe, 10 counts or so recently of what's the case there, Vino? Because I've lost my place now. I keep thinking about
Well,
midgets.
the
in
thing
closet.
is,
Okay, just to clear it up,
Yeah.
there is a little person in one of his video clips, but the actual name of the song is "Trapped in the Closet."
right? Well, have you,
But there
how
is-
do you not know the song?
But there
though?
is.
we know the
No, I know the
song.
song.
And
But
in the song, the lyric goes,
No,
"There's
no,
a
but-
midget in my
but
closet."
that's what I'm saying. There's in the thing. There's an actual like
The
well,
lyric isn't
Yeah.
"There's a midget in my closet."
Yes, there is.
I'm not gonna look for the lyric, but
I'm not getting into
in
this
the
now.
video. In
We'll
the
go
video.
through this. We'll watch it, and I want a written apology
you see how
for the
I'm
I'm
area.
not gonna write an apology for saying.
I want a
about-
written, publicised apology. He
midget
definitely he goes.
closet.
There's a midget in my closet.
Anyway, I'm going to continue with the story. Is that okay?
Yeah,
While
go,
you
go,
debate
go.
the midget thing. So I'll read this from an article on a BBC website, the BBC News website. It says, earlier on Monday, he pleaded not guilty to 10 charges of aggravated criminal sexual abuse against 4 women, 3 women of whom were minors at the time. So this guy that I have been listening to, despite having the knowledge, because I'm sure in 2008, 2007,
Yeah.
there was another case that he eventually won.
Lots of them got dropped, or lots of them because
It
they've done
didn't-
this documentary recently. This
Yeah.
is what this is like a follow on from this documentary that come out called
Yeah.
"Surviving R. Kelly."
So
Right.
were you saying the situations are following, or?
No, yeah, these new court cases that have been brought out, and these new thing that
Yeah.
is on the momentum that's been created by this documentary called "Surviving R. Kelly."
In which
In which what it does is they break down, all the allegations over years and years and years. Because what's happened often with R. Kelly is people have gone. He's a master of distraction. Like
say that again.
he's a master of distraction because what he does is he's managed to bring out these songs, these little hits, and everyone's suddenly gone, oh, forget everything. I mean, to the point of there is a marriage license with him. He married Aaliyah at 15 years old.
Good Lord, isn't it?
He married her.
Aaliyah, the R&B singer, who
Sadly passed away. Yeah. Basically, what he would do is he would meet young, allegedly, according to this documentary, he would meet young fans. They would see him. He would say, "I'm going to mentor you," right? And these girls were aging from 12 to 16. Let's just say, like I think some of them maybe 17, some of them 18. And what he would do is he would sort of groom them into saying just get comfortable with him, that he would then trick them into doing sexual acts on him, and then you start watching this documentary and you're just honestly, I recommend everyone watch it, but also be ready to be like incredibly shocked and so angry at the fact that it starts in the 80s, like late 80s, and it goes right up till Christmas time, just gone, 2018, November. Weird stuff still going on with R. Kelly and cases that are standard, still alive, and like these cases are still going on as we speak. So what he used to do, he would meet them, promise them the world, promise them all kinds of... like recording promises, anything from fashion shoots to I'll make you a model, I'll make you famous, all this sort of stuff. And then he started sleeping with them, then he would film them, and then it seems that he started filming it and went past the stage of being just him abusing them privately, and then he'd make these videos. He started doing horrific things, and then he would set rules for these women, and then there would be a court case would appear.
Brainwash them essentially. Isn't it?
They completely brainwash him, but there was loads of settlements. The reason he hasn't been able to post bail now because he's broke. 'Cause he's been trying to shut down so many different.
Yeah, it says here he's been released from a Chicago jail after posting his $100,000 bail, and that's from a friend.
Yeah,
He's 52 years old.
He was struggling to make bail.
Yeah, because he's been for years. He was like paying £1,000 to keep it out of court. Keep it out of court. £10,000, £100,000, £50,000. There's loads of these court cases, and it's it was just horrific, man. I mean, the shit he done was like, it's not subtle. And then he was writing these songs. It's almost like a game he's playing with, like the media.
See, now this is where it gets a little bit messed up, because obviously I, as a fan of the songs, now look back on the titles and go,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, that's what
Yeah, and the lyrics.
You remind me of my Jeep. So you're already... Let's just deconstruct that for a second. You remind me of a motor vehicle. I want to ride you. So you're already a little bit kind of like...
Yeah, but that's because that was his thing. He created this thing like, I'm Mr. Sex. I'm R.Kelly. Like, all I'm about is the sex.
And
the
he
ladies
was,
love it.
he
And all
was.
these women were like, oh, dang, R.Kelly. And he was like, Mr. Smooth.
I like that. Dang.
Dang, R.Kelly, man.
Yeah.
And he was like, but then he played on that. And he would trick these, because he would have fans that even when he met one fan during a court case being charged with sexual assault on a minor.
Yeah.
This is after the video came out allegedly showing R. Kelly pissing on a 14-year-old or 12-year-old girl or
This
whatever
is in
it was.
2008, wasn't it?
Yeah, way back when, and the video went everywhere. Everyone saw it. It was like a thing. He's like, that ain't me. That's my brother. Tried to throw his own brother under the bus.
Good
And his
Lord.
brother come out was like, no, that wasn't me. But he met this girl, went to the court case to be like, no, Kelly, I fully support you. This is bullshit. Like, you know, and he's seen in all interviews while they're talking to him, he keeps looking over their shoulder at this girl. This girl at the time was 15 years old, right? He then obviously sends one of his dudes over. Go and talk to that girl, mate. Go and have a little chat to that girl there. So they go and talk to this girl, convince her to come and hang out with him. He's like, oh, you know, you're really special. You really understand me. Grooms her. And does the usual sort of like, you know, like, I don't know what groomers do. Groomed her. And done some sort of weird, like, I don't know, mind trick. Like Lord of the Rings or, no, Jedi mind trick. Convinced her to then suddenly start a relationship with him. And now this is a girl who stood outside a court going, he doesn't have sex with kids. He does not have sex with kids.
That's the power of the brainwash,
But
isn't
still
it?
a kid herself.
Yeah.
And then starts having sex with R. Kelly. And at no point did she question the fact that, hang on a second. Oh, maybe he does, allegedly, sleep with kids. And then he then started this campaign, got a friend of hers. All messed up, mate. It's so dark. It's so bleak.
Yeah, the whole thing's fucked up, man. In my opinion, I kind of think watching
Mate,
the case.
it's so bleak. And this new video, this thing, I don't know, is it a video or an audio clip or something where it's
Apparently
definitely him?
It's a video, and that's
it's-
what's so damning.
And he's like, show me your 14-year-old this, or show me your 14-year-old that. So he
Allegedly,
can't even
yeah.
go, I didn't even know she was 14.
Yeah, man.
It's like, bruv.
It's bad.
Allegedly, there's a
bad.
video of him saying, show me your 14-year-old whatever it is, and open your 14-year-old this. And I mean, this is a dude he needs to go to jail. If it's true, he needs to go to jail, and someone needs to break his fucking teeth.
I think they'll get him this time.
Yeah, I agree with you. But it's scary to think that kind of power, which many people do have.
Many people.
Well, this is
the
the
celebrity
thing.
world. You only got to
That's
think
the-
about that.
Because it's one of the few industries, apart from the Catholic Church, that
Don't go there.
sorry, I won't say that, but
No,
because
you're
there's,
true, but it's
there's
more.
the Australian priest right now that's in this sort of trouble.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not- and
there's a whole bunch of shit in America as well.
there's always a priest that somewhere is getting in trouble for touching kids. But as an industry, the entertainment industry, because it's so many people are desperate to get into that game. You know what I mean? Like these young people, you know, they're told that's the only way you're going to make it. You're going to be a star. You're going to be a star, and they dream of that lifestyle. You know what I mean? And then after all this Harvey Weinstein shit, you kind of go, fuck. I mean, we always assume, you know, the jokes or the casting couch, this and that. No, there's a full-on industry that's been made out of taking people's dreams and fucking turning into
Sucking
a
the life out of
nightmare.
But it's the whole culture of celebrity. I think, for me, you only have to look at some of the cases that are on now. You've got that other guy in the news at the moment, Mr. Flippin' Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, the shit. I mean, what the fucking
Listen,
idiot.
That amuses the shit out of me, that story.
Give me a little bit of a rundown.
It
Vino.
generally does, right?
Tell me what's happening. Who's Jussie Smollett? Where's he from? What's happened to him recently?
Right. So as far as I know, Jussie Smollett is an American actor. He's on a TV show called Empire. He plays the son of the mogul, who he's he's openly gay on the show. Yeah. He's openly gay in real life as well. So we got that.
And he's a singer, isn't it? In the film, the TV show, he's a singer, and he brings out. He's got also a pop career that bounced out of the TV show. He got his own solo career.
So it's all the TV show is basically a slight depiction of his actual life. In certain aspects, I would say. I don't watch the show personally, but I know who the character is, and I've seen.
Well, I think he started as an actor, and then he's because he's singing in the TV show. He sort of branched into a solo career,
doing like
as a singing songs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a singer as well, but his albums are sold like horseshit. Like no one buys his stuff. And I think he wanted to build up his
brand,
who he is, because there's talk about. So what was it? The TV show?
So essentially, the way the story's been broken down to me is he was in the process of, he thought he was in the process of renegotiating his contract, or about to. So he was trying to get more money.
Okay.
Trying to get more money. So basically he's trying to make a bigger name for himself so they can't get rid of him, because there's actually a little rumor that they were looking to get rid of his character at some point.
Okay.
So he's heard that rumor and he's gone and he's decided, I need to make myself bigger so they can't get indispensable, basically. So,
And how does one go about doing that exactly?
Apparently.
So my man has decided, my man has concocted this great fantastical fantasy where he's gone back and he said two MAGA guys, which for anybody who doesn't know is the Make America Great slogan that Donald Trump uses. Trump fans wearing that red hat. Yeah, we've all seen them. We know what they're about.
Kanye West.
So essentially, he said two white guys wearing these hats beat him up in the parking lot at 2:00 in the morning or 3:00 in the morning, whenever it was, and put a noose around his neck.
And is a normal homophobic, racist,
and all the homophobic, sort of, all the stuff that comes with it. So just like,
right. So I mean, at this point, if he's telling the story,
you're hearing this story for the first time. You're like,
course, man, that's
everyone
horrible.
was outraged. Yeah. Everyone was like, so loads of people jumped on it straight away, going, "Oh, this is like what Donald Trump has done. He's created an environment of all this sort of stuff. This poor guy, this guy," and I think the guy was thinking for about 45 seconds. He was like, "Yeah,
I've done it."
Bam.
Yeah.
That plan was sick. He's high-fiving. he's like, out. Because then it turns out, what happened?
So it turns out that there were no two fellas wearing no MAGA hats. No. It happens to be two Nigerian brothers that he knows. Yeah. One that works on his show and one that is his personal trainer. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I didn't realize this. One of them works on his show.
Yeah, one of them. There's a picture of him sat in the background with an extra on the show. You're like, I was like,
and the other guy's his personal trainer. They must have been sat in the gym one night. That's all sat around going. He's like, guys, mate, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to drop out the next. I don't think I'll be able to pay you for the next couple of quarters. Why, mate? What's happening? I'm only getting paid $80,000 an episode. Oh man, that's terrible. How are you surviving? $80,000 an episode. Oh, that's like fuck.
Damn.
Like $3 million a year, $4 million a year. Yeah. Oh, that's awful. We need to fix this. He's like, yeah, I've got a plan. And they were like, all right, yeah, because he's a sharp one. This guy. Mate, we're in. We're ready. What's the plan?
To do that as well, to also sweeten the pot for them fellas, he promised them, promised to pay them $3,500 to do the thing.
Yeah,
and then when they're done, he's going to give them an extra $500. So he's paying them $4,000 each, basically.
Yeah,
was this?
Because you would have to pay the most amount up front.
Yeah,
because offering that little £500 afterwards,
that's not going to get you to do as stupid as what.
Well, especially $3,000 is fuck all if he's expecting to like suddenly be getting $100,000 an episode.
It's a great investment if you think about it. $3,500 or $7,000 to try and make an extra 20-30 grand a year.
Part of him didn't think there was going to be an investigation. That's the thing where these idiots was. I'm sorry, brother. I mean. That is some basic move. Anyway, so they told this dude they've these two fellas have gone, we're on it.
They're on it.
Let's do this.
For $3,500, like most people would be like, all right, cool. Right. Just don't tell nobody.
I'm just fact checking this. I thought it was just we were plucking numbers out of the air. It's actually $3,500, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
and he was on $80,000.
Hear the joke, bro. Hear the joke. Like, didn't even pay the brothers.
What?
The man, when the police interviewed them, they're like, oh yeah, he promised us the money, but we never actually got paid. I was just like, oh.
You're actually
And he
kidding
thought this
me.
was his clever move, because he's like, well, you can't actually get me done. But then there's footage, they've managed to track back footage of these guys talking, like at somewhere or meeting in various places. They managed to track the car that these two guys, because where the attack isn't actually on camera. And I don't know if that was his plan or wasn't his plan.
I think it's part of the plan not to get you on camera.
Yeah, like, so it's just off camera, and then you see these guys running off. But they've just followed these guys.
Yep.
They keep following them. They
Yep.
follow the car because America's on an amazing, ridiculous network of thingy
America
cameras.
everywhere is.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know what I mean? They follow these two dudes, and the two dudes stop somewhere. I think it was like a gas station or something.
Somewhere, I can't remember where they stopped, but
And
they
then
found
obviously
him.
they come out, and then it's like, oh, there's them two fellas.
You know the guys.
Does anyone know who these two guys are? And they go, oh yeah, he works on the show,
Yeah.
and this one's his personal trainer. And it's like, oh right, I see. That's And then so they just turned around to him and went, did you set all this shit up? And he was like, no. Why? What makes you say that? It's like, oh, because we got the two fellas here, and they're not two white guys. They're
Yeah.
definitely Nigerian dudes, and they definitely don't seem like Trump supporters.
No.
And
Built
I'm
like
sure one of
brick
them knows
shit
you.
houses as well.
yeah,
like-
and they also seem to be your mates.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
everybody
the
I
knows
fuck's
did
him.
going
hear
on?
the thing about text messages that were
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
before they got together to have the little scrap.
Bro, it seems like honestly,
It's
like,
a comedy
if
sketch.
super stoners, like it's like, dude, where's my car? Like
got an
level
idea,
of
man.
stupid stoners who were just there going, yeah, man,
got an idea,
dude, like yo, and then like they're texting each other like, right, you can do it now, man. Oh yeah, dude, wicked, I'm ready, man.
At this point, he's been busted. Allegedly, he's going to court.
No, it's not allegedly.
There's no allegedly,
He's
no.
going
I
to
can-
court,
I
bro.
can- I can drop
The
the
police
allegedly.
are highly pissed off at this guy. Yeah,
Well, because
For
it's a
two- for-
complete and utter waste of
for two
time.
things, right? Two things
Yeah.
about it is one, this happens in Chicago, and Chicago police have a reputation for not being the most upfront in some of their
Yeah, they're known
processes
for
and
lying.
procedures.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like the way you put it. And the other thing, it costs money. They're like, I can't believe we wasted all this time, and you tried to make us look bad in the process, bro. We're gonna get you.
Well, I mean, and then you got the whole other thing where like now you know that fucking nonsense where now all these like slightly right wing, all these people that were all of a sudden everyone was like, oh, all these Donald Trump supporters, you're all bastards or whatever. All they're going to do now is just go, it's
Jussie
all
Smollett.
bollocks. This is fake news. This is a fake accusation. It's all like once again. So now,
Jussie
in
Smollett,
the
mate.
future, any attacks, anything,
Yeah.
there's going to be a level of skepticism.
He's ruined it
aimed
for a
at-
lot of people.
Yeah, he has.
Oh,
He's-
yeah.
he's
In a
put
big
like
way.
a struggle back about another 500 miles. Like
And the
he's-
memes just will never die as well.
but also you're going to have. It's just what
He's an idiot.
pisses me off is now. It's like, you know that like these fucking assholes who've come out and said, oh, because one girl once cried rape and it was because she was raped she said she was raped by a celebrity, but it turned out she just wanted money. Because that has happened
Yeah,
once.
yeah, yeah.
Every single unfortunate victim
They have to go through that.
they've got to suddenly got to go through this. I've got to now prove what I'm saying is real.
Yeah, yeah.
Where if you just really go and investigate it, you'll find out, like Weinstein, that yeah, there's loads of evidence that he's a mad dude, allegedly. But what happens is they go, oh no, there was that time when that woman cried rape and it wasn't rape. We found out it wasn't. So
Therefore,
That's
and
the
so
best
this is
one.
what Jesse's done. Just whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And this is the
Smollett.
reason I brought him up is because it's the celebrity again. It's
Yeah.
it's
It's the power
everyone
of celebrity.
wants more attention, and we've spoken about this in past episodes about the effects
Narcissism.
of narcissism, social media, and the attempt of endorphin pumping, basically. And I don't think any celebrity is any different from
Ego
the average human
massaging.
being. Yeah, perfect. I like that, ego massaging. Now, to all our listeners, this season we're keen to introduce some new bits, as we mentioned before. And one of the bits that I want to try and introduce to you guys, I don't know if I've mentioned this, it's called What the Fuck of the Week. What the fuck of the week. And, you know, each week that goes by, if I'm not in my car and someone does something that's amazing, that makes me kind of go, how the hell did you think it might have been okay for you to try and cross the road and beat a metal 5-ton vehicle? Well, you know, something silly that happens that you catch on camera, or someone says something stupid. This week I was watching television and something unbelievable happened that I've never seen occur before. Yeah, I am. You don't know, I'm a massive football fan. As are you. Yeah?
Oh, yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
Liverpool
yeah, I know.
supporter. You're an Arsenal supporter. You're an Arsenal supporter. It's not your fault. It's an element. It's something.
It's
that's
just our local team that we've supported,
We're not
because it's
gonna
our
go there.
local team that we've
No.
always supported, because
It's a local
we
team.
believe in grassroots football.
You can do this all you like. Yes, the story goes, I'm a Liverpool supporter, but I've lived in London for the majority of my life. Anyway, we're not going to bore our listeners with this nonsense. We're just going to give them the juice.
Right, what is
so I'm
it?
watching the Manchester City Chelsea
Carabao Cup final.
Carabao Cup, which has been called every name under the
Listen,
sun.
I'm
Mickey
glad I can
Mouse
say
Cup.
that word now, yeah, because I have called it all sorts of things like
What is it called? The
Caribou Cup.
Caribou. Is that like a drink or something?
It's a
Yeah,
it's a drink,
it's energy drink.
but
Is
a
it-
caribou's like a reindeer.
Yeah, but it's spelt different.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a cup. It's football, and these two teams have faced every kind of domestic team that's been drawn against and won and got to
Big
the
game.
final.
It's still a
Yeah.
big game. It's a big game. Everyone's watching.
Yeah. Now, Chelsea Football Club having a bit of a rough time. New manager in charge, Sarri, who really needed this to go well. He needed it to go really well.
He did,
And then we've got, of course, Manchester City, who are renowned for having an amazing manager, winning everything, great players, fantastic. Match is, of course, as always, with most League Cup finals, Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it, a bore fest. Yeah. There's not much going on. But Chelsea, the team who are not doing so well with their manager, Sarri, looking like they've got a bit of fight.
Yeah, they managed to hold on.
They've managed to hold on, right?
No, they're going to get creamed. They lost 6-0 against Man City.
Recently.
Yeah. So this is a
So
bit of a
they were like,
match.
no, this time what we're going to do is not concede 6 goals.
Yeah. Now,
like,
even if you don't enjoy football,
you know what I mean?
if any of our listeners are not into football, what will happen will definitely make you still say, what the fuck? At the end of this competition, it's 0-0, and at this point in the competition, it means that after another further 2 halves of playing...
No, you're in extra time now. You're already in extra time. You're like 3 minutes left of extra time. You're like, right, it's going to penalties. It's going to penalties.
Penalty strategy.
It's going to happen. Right, so...
And penalties are basically a player facing the goalkeeper... 1-on-1, take a shot, and if you save it, goalkeeper, well done. And then they all take it in turns, essentially, just in case you're from Mars or something. You've never seen a game
you'd
of
have to
football.
be pretty out of it.
It's true.
A penalty.
We can't assume our listeners all love football.
If they've got access to it, this podcast, and they don't know what a penalty
I'll tell you what. We're going to put a little link to this video.
What is a penalty?
What is? Let me just type that. Yeah. But we're going to put a link in our description and in our bio to show you to the moment of exactly what happens.
Great stuff.
So, Bobby, tell them what happens. Because I can't.
It's amazing because I obviously love watching any kind of hardship for Chelsea because not because of just the normal football rivalries that we have, but because there's a lot of dubious stuff around. So I love watching Chelsea have a bad time because I genuinely don't enjoy them as a team. So, I'm loving it. Watching it. Basically, this is what happens. Keeper gets injured. There's 3 minutes to go. What are we doing? What's going on? Keeper's like, all right, manager does the normal thing. Right, get ready Caballero because that's their substitute goalkeeper.
Specialist.
Penalty.
So this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
he
the
was
guy.
not on the pitch at
No,
the moment.
he's not. They got a young keeper in.
What's the keeper's
Cost a
name?
lot of
What's
money.
the Chelsea keeper's name? I'll find out.
I can't say his
It's
last
a very,
name. It's a
very,
really long
very
name with a
long
K
name.
and a Z.
Yeah. Continue, Bobby.
But he's a young keeper,
Yeah.
and he's playing the Carabao Cup. They've let him play, the whole time.
Yeah.
He's like there, so he's like, right, great. He's not their first team keeper, though, is he?
I think he is. He cost them
He's their
75
keeper.
mil, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
He
Yeah.
went out he came in and somebody went
Courtois.
to Real Madrid, was it?
Courtois.
Thibaut Courtois.
That's the
Courtois
guy.
left.
So this guy is his first
So
season.
he's like, making a point. So he's playing, and he's like, I want to come off. And then he sees what's happening. There's like the referee was like, there's only like 20 seconds to go. Then it's penalties, and that keeper just suddenly went, all right, I'm staying on. Now by this time, the substitute board with the numbers up was already up. The manager's there, stood next to the player. The substitute goalkeeper's got his gloves on. He's ready to come on. He's like, what? And then the player just refuses. No, I'm not coming off. The manager goes, no, yeah, come off, mate. No, you're coming off because I'm the boss.
I'm the boss, yeah.
I'm the boss. Coming off, and then the goalkeeper's like, no, I'm not. And everyone's like, oh, this is getting awkward. Like even the commentators are like,
this is the beautiful thing about it. It took some time for us to all realise.
oh shit, is he? Actually
he's
doing
not.
this?
He's not going to do
Is
it.
he refusing to get off the pitch?
Oh wow! And then they basically the referee had to run over to the keeper who wanted to stay on and go, are you sure you want to stay on? And he was like, yeah, I'm staying on.
And all this time he's waving to the bench.
Yeah.
Refusal.
Yeah, like,
it's not
no,
quite super
waggling
angry
his
yet.
finger, like just go no, like a bit like a petulant kid, because this is
Yeah.
what happens when you got like everyone's like 16 these days in football. You know what I mean? They're all teenagers. He's having a bit of a Mardy. He's like nah. So he's like no. And then the referee runs over to the manager and goes, basically, he's not coming off. So are you all right with that? Because I don't know what to do. And we're in a cup final and there's literally 20 seconds to go, mate.
Man.
If we can just get on with the game.
It's like you being told by your boss at work, if you work in an office, that you'll have to go and work in Department C because they need your services there. And you stand in the middle of the office and you go, no.
I ain't going nowhere, bro.
Nah.
No, I don't want to go.
Can't make me. Unless
Yeah.
you're going to, like, you can't make me.
Yeah, and
It
your
was-
boss is so busy. But he's continuing to write down some notes, and you can't actually hear what you're saying properly because you're so far away from there. He's probably sent you a private message on your computer circle when you go and help Dave in Section C or something. And the realization was the beauty of the moment when he realized this is not happening. And it's the tussle of
power,
who's-
because obviously at the minute that manager
He's having a hard time.
He's like,
He's
they're
borderline.
not listening to me. They're not taking
He's
my
borderline about to
leadership.
get to sack, man.
Yeah, exactly. So this is his last thing. He's like, if I win this cup, I don't get the sack. The players have got to come together for me.
Yeah.
The player goes, no, I'm not coming off. And then when he finally realises, he's like, oh shit. Is he fucking not coming off? You see his face has changed, and then a full-on freak out. He flings
It's the
his
tirade
shit down,
that kills me,
and
man.
he
He's just
rants at his friends. He throws his jumper down. He's storming out. Everyone's there going, "This is fucking great."
I'm glad I watched this
is
one.
quality of telly.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was never going to watch this match, but I'm watching it now, and this is great telly. This is absolutely like the bollocks. I was watching it. I was over the moon. So he goes to literally walk out the stadium. He like.
Down
The
the
manager
tunnel.
walks down the tunnel, and then he suddenly realizes, "Ooh, if I quit,
I don't get paid.
I don't get, I don't get
I don't
paid."
get paid.
So he has to do the sort of like slight walk of shame. Now, the interesting bit, it goes to penalties.
Yeah.
So this is a dangerous game. Obviously, this goalkeeper's decided what he's gonna do is he's played the gamble. Now he's like, you know what, I'm gonna be a fucking hero.
The guy.
I'm gonna be a fucking hero. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save all the penalties. And everyone's going to forget about that.
Yeah, no one can say shit. Yeah,
and everyone's going to be like, of course it was the right decision for him to stay on.
Because look what he
But
did.
you could see the look on the manager's face then. What does he actually want? Because I was looking at Sarri and I was thinking, you kind of want him to fuck up, bro.
Of course you do.
You kind of want him to
you're
fuck
like,
out.
Of
So
course you do.
I
So you can
need you to
sack him in the
prove
morning.
that I was right.
yeah,
and
well,
wanted
and
to
also you
take
got
off the
Caballero,
pitch.
who's the whole one of the part of Chelsea's entire game plan was bring Caballero on if we get to penalties because that's what he does. And he's won on penalties before. He's won like that's his main game. And this kid then goes, no, fuck you. Goes into the penalty shootout. He saves a penalty. He's like, he almost saves the first one, but it goes in. Then he saves the second one, and you could see him going, yeah, I've fucking done it. In the end, Chelsea miss another penalty. End up missing a couple. I think David Luiz missed off the post.
Can't remember.
And then
It was all irrelevant. It
yeah.
was almost as if this one event became
well, that's the thing.
the
no
whole
one
thing
this is-
overshadowed
This is
the
what
whole
people
match.
like.
The
All I
coupling.
know is that Chelsea, other fans who like hate Man City. So I've got Man United fans. They love it because Man City won a cup.
Nobody cares.
No one's talking
Nobody
about the
cares.
cup. No one's going, oh, Man City, you won something. Oh, great. No, no one's saying anything. They're all just going, look at Chelsea. What a mess. It was great, though. It was great. It was a good bit of... They'll be talking about that as a sports moment
For years, bro.
For years.
We're going to be old ass men
Yeah.
and be like, remember that time?
But it was a what the fuck moment because I was like...
That was hilarious, though,
What the
man.
fuck is he doing?
I just couldn't believe
everyone
it.
could not believe
Couldn't
it. But
believe it. I
that's-
was just like, what? No, wait, no, come on. How,
Yeah,
but no,
great.
he's gonna walk off. He's gonna just walk around the back of the goal in a second and just be off to no.
Oh, what is he? Oh, no, he's saying
No,
that.
that's his thing.
Oh, yeah. And then,
Could you
yeah,
imagine
it's good.
walking into the dressing room after that shit?
Well, did you see that?
This
There's
is the thing, isn't it?
when he got they all they go and get the losers medal and they're walking down the thing.
Yeah.
And there's a Chelsea fan who who's a disabled fan, so they let disabled fans get access to shake the hands of
Okay,
the players
yeah,
as
yeah.
they're coming off. And as a sign of the goalkeeper realised then the impact that he's had on the Chelsea fans because this guy shook everyone's hand. And as soon as the goalkeeper came down, he just looked at him and
Nah,
he hid his hand away.
Brutal.
And you see the keeper go, whoa, like ghost hand is like, and then carry on walking. And then, you know what I mean? That's going to be a standing, like, so I don't know if this is now gone in Sarri's favour or what.
I think it has, but the thing that makes me laugh about it is the political story they've released at the end.
This is the funniest thing.
This is the bit I love, man. Sarri's just like, no, it's okay. I misunderstand. I was like, oh, bruv, they made you grovel
L.
instantly.
That is just you're
What,
just.
he's had to take, he was like, oh, it was my fault.
It was a
Yeah.
misunderstanding. Essentially, he was saying, from what I can read, it was a misunderstanding. The player had hamstring problems, and we just misunderstood the fact that we thought he was okay to carry on. But at the end of this whole kind of spiel that he was giving the press in that room, he said, although it was a misunderstanding, he was in the wrong and he shouldn't have done it in the way that he was. It was a misunderstanding. He was right, but he did it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
What, the keeper or...
The keeper.
So this is the
Sorry,
manager
okay.
saying
The
yeah,
keeper was right to stay on.
yeah,
Man, the
but he
second
did
you
it
see
in the
your-
wrong way, and that's just kind of like, no, you should come across and be like, I'm the boss. He did the wrong thing.
But he knows that when it comes down to it, he's gonna go first before the 75 million they invested in that fella.
Yeah,
tell you
this is
that now.
facts. This is
I'll
the
tell you
crazy
that
thing
right
about
now.
football, though, isn't it? In
But
That particular club, anyway.
Also, if you're
Yeah.
that goalkeeper, like I can completely understand. You played the entire game. You played the entire game. There's 20 seconds left,
that's
and you're
the
like, you
point,
know what? I
fam.
want to do the penalties. Like, I want to make sure. Because in the same way, everyone believes in their own skill set. So you know, what I mean, that keeper's not thinking, I'm not going to be the hero. He's thinking, I'm going to save at least a penalty, and he did that. To be fair to him, so he was like, I'm going to save a penalty, and he just thought that moment there, he's like, I'm not going to have a dream taken away from me because of the bosses say so. But this is experience. This is what happens when you get young people, players. You know,
Still though,
that
bro,
petulance.
he's been playing football for long enough to know when your number comes up on the board,
It's
you
not
get
even
the fuck
about
off the
football.
pitch.
If you're
It's
22 years
hierarchy.
old and you're 75 million,
Bruh, if they put my number up, I'm coming off the pitch.
Yeah, because that's the hierarchy.
Because that's
yeah,
the
but we've all seen stars throw a strop,
but they
come
all
off.
come off.
Yeah,
they
true.
come.
This
They,
is the
they kick
first
up a
time.
stink
They
when they
just
get
come-
off, but they
Nah.
all come off.
Do you reckon it's going to happen all the time now?
Well, you set a precedent now, isn't it?
It'd be great. I'd love to see
Yeah,
that.
you're in the midfield, be like, your number comes up, like,
Nah.
nah.
gosh.
You try and score a goal.
I hope some players take the piss and
Yeah, so
like
do I.
as if they're gonna, like do.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be so good. Just for a joke.
Why not the
Go.
manager?
No, I'm not coming off.
No,
on
I'm
it.
just only joking.
Well, that was my what the fuck of the week.
Yeah.
That was a
I'm
great
looking
what the fuck of
forward
the
to
week.
hearing your what the fucks of the week because I think
Yeah. And if you know one at home, if you're sitting there listening and you thought of something, or next week comes up and you want something, send it in to us because we will be. I love moments like that. They're gold.
yeah, if you come across anything odd that you want to talk about in such a way, then we're
Yeah, man, let us know, man.
Now, speaking of bits, seeing as this is our what is it, third season, I think it is. I was thinking we should introduce one more bit. We're called the Irrational Review. We should be reviewing stuff.
Yeah.
At least one thing.
Yeah? Come
Yeah.
on.
I'm
We
all
spoke
for
about
it.
this at the top of the program, but I'm going to say it again because I really, really want to make sure that you guys have as much input. Everyone listening at home has as much input into our show as possible. So hit us up on our social media. We need you to send us in a couple of comments or a couple of suggestions as to what we could review or your what the fuck of the week, or just if you want to have a chat, really. You can find us on Instagram on @IrrationalReview. That's me, myself, Tinashé Vazagari, Bobby Kane, and Vino White. We're all roughly logged in and we kind of know how to use our phones. So yeah, we'll hit you back up.
Yeah.
So it could be you suggesting our next bit.
All suggestions welcome. Any kind, like big, small, random. Like we're willing to compare things, willing to try things, watch things, read things, eat things,
Drink things.
drink things.
Bro, some things.
Well, like,
Some
we're talking
things.
like sort of that jungle program style, like bug juice.
No. I mean,
No kombucha.
I'd eat a would-you-de grub.
Would
That's
you?
what
You
they're
did,
called.
would you did grub?
All right.
Mate, I've eaten some horrible things in my
Alright.
time.
You'd move it.
I've
You'd
eaten
eat a
cockroaches and
moving-
stuff.
A moving grub, like one of the.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, I say
No
maybe we
cockroaches,
make
bro.
you eat one.
Well, do you know what? If we get suggestions like that, we'd have to actually take them into consideration.
I don't know where you get a would-you-de grub in London.
We'll find one. I'm going to find one.
I'm
Just
just
so.
going to
find a
have some
grub.
sort of hackney
Just-
maggot.
just
I've just
so I
found a
can
hackney
watch
maggot,
you
one
eat a
fat
fucking-
hackney maggot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Fat hackney
you said
maggot.
you're willing to eat anything, my guy. So
I never said I was
we're
willing to eat anything.
Did you
I'm just
say
saying
that?
I've eaten some shit.
Listen back and you'll hear. You just agreed to this.
I've eaten most
dear.
things in my
We're gonna
time.
give
I've eaten
you-
some weird shit.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
mean,
we'll try anything. Like send them in.
You
What
can
are you
see
gonna say?
just
I'm just
how-
saying you ate a fucking cockroach. I mean, I wish you
Yeah, but it was a Thailand cockroach, so that was a delicacy,
Bro, a
and it
cockroach
was fried.
is a cockroach.
I wasn't
is a
just
cockroach.
grabbing him off the floor and yamming him.
pan frying him. Yeah.
There's a long story.
Many people do that. That's like a.
a
standard,
tourist
isn't it?
thing, innit?
Listen, I haven't been out there yet, so I haven't done a touristy thing. So I don't know. I'm still a Westerner in terms of cockroaches.
Mate, I mean,
If you can
yeah,
find us a
scorpions
place to
and all
get
that.
grubs, we may just do that for you. But yeah, it's
to see it happen.
to be continued, I believe. It's been a really fun episode today, and we're glad to be back here with you on the Irrational Review.
yeah, man.
What's up, bro? You're looking at me with
That's
a
a
weird look
serious
on
Well,
your face.
like, I thought there's one thing we were going to talk about.
What's that?
Was your holiday to?
Oh no!
So I don't know. None of you lot know this, but Tino went on holiday with his family to Disneyland, Paris.
The legend.
And everyone's like, "Oh, that sounds lovely." Just in case you're a parent out there, here's a little word of advice: don't go to fucking Disneyland in wintertime because it's an outdoor park.
It was an absolute nightmare.
And it's horrific.
I'll
but
never
like,
forget. I'll never forget.
I was so like I was running around fucking. It was December. Everyone's doing their Christmas shopping. I'm walking around Westfields in Stratford with the missus, getting some last minute things and that. And I get a phone call. I get a phone call from Tino, and I was over the moon about this call because he'd said to me he was going to go on this holiday, but I was like, "Oh mate, it's going to be shit." Everyone else was like, "Oh, it's going to be fantastic." I was straight up went, "This is going to be shit, bruv." I've been there. I took a girlfriend there once. I tried to be romantic. I had one of the most awful experiences of my life. It was start to finish fucking shit show of a holiday. But I get this phone call, and it just brightened up my entire day. Imagine it's freezing cold, it's raining, you're in fucking Westfield,
People everywhere.
It's 10 days before Christmas, it's Ramo, you've been in there for 4 hours, your missus is taking you into a load of shops that you know you're not going to buy anything from, so I don't know why we're even going in these shops, I don't know what the plan is there, but we're in them, and I get this phone call. Hello. And I'm like, who's that? I was like, Tia, you're right. And he's like, guess where I am? And I was like, oh, no, wait. You're there, aren't you?
Yeah.
And he goes, yes. And I was like, is it raining?
Why do I sound like Batman? What's
Yes. That's because you sounded that traumatized. And I was like, is it raining? And you were like, yeah. No, wait, is it fucking horrible? And he's like, yes, it's fucking horrible.
Dude, it was so bad. Listen, I even got a little recording. I started calling it Dad Chronicles. Listen to this shit. 'Cause I had to find out what you were talking about. Listen to this shit.
Dad Chronicles.
It's like a thriller movie.
Day 3.
Day 3, surviving
Just pay
Disneyland.
50 quid for a fucking meal. And I'm not talking a meal, I'm talking kind of like... I'm doing Dad Chronicles.
Say cheese, boys.
Dad Chronicles, pictures have been taken all of the time. She's gone mad with the pictures. She's actually used all of the battery on her mobile phone due to pictures. It's actually embarrassing.
Arms up in the air, Oscar. Ready? 1, 2, go.
The
There you go.
children don't care.
See, that's the trauma. One,
Just imagine that for 4 days.
but I don't know who's having a worse time because obviously you were having a bad time and I was enjoying the fact you were having a bad time, which is great.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
That was nice to see. But I think your missus was having probably a worse one because you were obviously in a shit mood. Recording yourself going, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. And she's also got 2 kids running around trying to enjoy a freezing cold, soaking wet, grey ass, miserable puddle of shithole that they
Disney
call
pictures
Disneyland
everywhere.
Paris, trying to take photos with all these stars, and you just going, she's taking photos, this is bullshit.
I think I got a bit delirious because the first day I was up for it, I was vibing. You know, it's nice, isn't it? It's a family time, and then it got real cold, and I thought that was the natural time to kind of go home. You know, it starts to hit that kind of
Yeah, you've
know,
been in there 10 minutes.
It's nearly
It's raining. You've been in one queue. You're in the one queue because you're like,
no,
right, I'm
I'm
going on
talking-
Space
it's-
Mountain.
It's like we've been there 6 hours. My feet hurt.
Right
Yeah,
enough.
that's enough.
It's time to go
Right
home.
enough, yeah.
But then this woman wants to squeeze every last drop of every last penny that she's paid
Yeah.
out of this park.
That's right on.
Disney, bro.
It should have gone in
That's fair
summertime.
enough. But the kids are shaking, bro. The kids
Yeah,
are shaking.
kids are shaking.
Did I
That's 'cause
mention
you
that I
pumped them
paid
full of
50
sugar.
quid? No, no.
Because everything in that place is filled with sugar. Like
No,
you,
no.
Like,
You
if you
don't
even try and
know
give
the
a-
hustle.
You bring in
I'm
your own
talking
food.
bringing own food kind of vibes and own drinks and stuff. We ain't stupid. I ain't
Mate, as
paying
soon as you
10
walk through that
euros.
Disney tunnel, it's sprinkled in sugar. You can't even. If you got an apple, somehow they've injected that
Like a
motherfucker, man.
mist of sugar
Yeah,
just as
there
you walk
is.
through. Just
There is.
inhale that shit.
With that music in the background. I'm surprised
dude.
more people do not get murdered at Disneyland. After like 10 hours of this weird sort of like ding, 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 ding. Like all these weird noises. You're like,
Cartoon music,
Oh
yeah?
my, yeah, it just sends you nuts.
It's just, I mean, not to be a grumpy bastard. It is a special place, and I would recommend anyone go there.
No.
In the summer.
Oh yeah, maybe in the summer. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like
I
a
don't know.
straight up no.
It's like I wonder what the was the other one in Florida, isn't it? Disneyland.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that one is even more entertaining. But the queues still exist. What I found is that at this age, I don't like queues. I don't like rude people who don't necessarily speak the same language as me and are most likely a lot of the time looking at me kind of going,
Look at you.
look at you. And because I'm doing the exact same thing to them.
All
going,
right,
"Yeah, look
Mr.
at
Brexit."
you." Yeah. God, cut it out.
Don't worry, we'll be out of Europe soon.
I
We won't be
became
allowed
this
in.
like furious sort of like weird gorilla male
Bro,
who
it's
was
the
grumpy
queues,
about
though.
everything. I think it's just it must
Standing
be
out in the rain,
Yeah.
queuing for a ride, is all well and good.
Yeah.
But like half the time they shut down half the rides in the winter time. So I don't know if people know this. Like it gets.
Say that again.
I don't know if people know this, right? But it gets really weird at Disneyland in winter time. They shut half the rides because
Yeah,
it's
fact.
it's raining and it's dangerous, and I don't know, they get frost and like. So you've got like rides like I don't know, like they've got all this indoor stuff now, like lots of Star Wars stuff and that. It's quite fun. I can imagine would have been all right for an hour or two, whatever. Space Mountain, everyone's a massive queue for Space Mountain.
Yeah, facts.
And then have like the runaway mine train that they've always shut down.
Yeah,
it's like the
facts.
oldest thing, and they've always like, sorry, it's not working. You're like, oh mate, you know, I've just walked here miles.
Sounds like my nightmare.
You know what I mean? Going on the boat and all that. Like my experience of there, like, was awful. I had a girlfriend. I was going out with an Australian, tried to impress her. Took her to Disneyland Paris.
Dude, you were aiming high, weren't
Mate,
you?
I was
You were
20.
aiming
I was
high.
22 or 23
so
years old.
proud of it at the
It was her
time.
21st birthday.
Oh,
I worked
man.
like an absolute motherfucker, and I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? I'm gonna pull in all the pimp moves here.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna be like Jesus, like Hugh Grant on like
Yeah, I
mixed with
remember.
like, I don't know what it was. It's gonna be incredible.
Like
So
the East End Hugh Grant in it. Yeah, wicked good.
I surprised her when, you know what, we're going Disneyland, and she was like, oh my god, and I was like, get in. We went on the Eurostar. Got my mate who works for Eurostar. It was great. Turn up to Disneyland Paris. We went turn up to Paris. It's not all Disneyland there. Wonder about Paris. It's a nice day. Took her up the Eiffel Tower. That's not a euphemism. Took her up the Eiffel Tower. Bought a cocktail. Sunset.
Dude, you did the whole Eiffel Tower shit as well.
Yeah, bro.
He went in.
I only
he
went to
in.
Disneyland.
How are you not married to that woman?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. I'll
To all
tell
our
you
listeners
why.
out there,
I'll tell
that was
I'll
an
tell you
Because
why.
he
I'll tell you
ran
why.
away.
Because she's not as good as my wife. She was not the right girl for me. I could tell
Big
you that.
bang.
answer.
Well done, my
Good
man. Well
answer.
done, my man.
If you're listening, Mrs.
Well done.
But no, what happened was, so I was like, right, yeah, I'm the big man, right? We go back to this hotel. Now, I was an idiot. In my trying to be flash, but also trying to cut corners,
Yeah.
I asked a friend who was a girl who I may have had a brief romance with. Do you remember? I don't know what her name was. I do know her name, but I don't want to say it. A friend. And I
I
thought...
forgot how funny this story was.
She was like, no, it's all good. We're still friends. So I was like, oh, great. Can you do me a favour? And she was like, yeah, I'll sort you out. Proper favour. And she was a travel agent. And she said she can get me a cheap hotel.
He's crying. Look, he's actually crying.
this
To our
story
listeners,
was.
to our listeners, if you're not watching the video on YouTube, or if you're not catching this, Vino is a state.
He's a mess.
Oh,
He's a mess.
man, I forgot.
So
I
she was
forgot.
like, yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, we're mates now. In a bit of a tense. Oh, we're mates. So I'll book you a hotel. She booked a hotel. I turn up at this hotel. It was the Santa Fe Hotel, which I don't know if you know is a themed hotel right outside Disneyland Paris. So first of all, you're not in Paris. You're miles out of the fucking boondocks and nowhere. Second of all, I turn up and went, what the fuck is this place? It looks like some sort of cowboy rodeo sort of Mexican village. You turn up and then it was like... I walk in and there's just kids being sick everywhere. There's no fucking restaurant. This girl, not the girl at the time was like, oh no, it's still lovely. She's Australian. She's going, don't worry about it. Go to the room. We've got some broken, blinking fucking neon cactus flashing in the room. So, right, first night, bad times. But it's all cool because tomorrow we're going to the Sunshine Village, which is Disneyland. It's going to be incredible. We rock up, we go in, we have it's pissing down with rain, it's miserable as fuck. Half the rides ain't working. Trauma, bloody hell. What we got to eat? Just some shit hot dogs and maybe a candied apple. So we're going about the day, we're doing the thing, like it's all good fun and all that sort of stuff. And we've been on Space Mountain and all that sort of stuff. And the good thing is, when it's cold, there ain't that big a queue. So that's the one benefit. You turn up there, you're the only dickhead enough
there
in
were
there.
less people.
Well, you were near Christmas. I was in just at end of November, so about 2 weeks before you went. So we rock up in there, and she was like, I was like, right, I've booked us a dinner, posh table, in a super posh restaurant in the middle of Paris.
Let's do this.
By the Louvre. Let's go, let's have one more ride, and let's bounce. And she was like, oh, yeah, I've had the greatest day ever. So good. So I was like, right, let's do it. We'll go Space Mountain. So we're sitting on there. She sat next to me on Space Mountain.
Space Mountain is like a roller coaster.
Space Mountain's like a roller coaster where they kind of shoot you up really slowly. You go really quickly. Like you go to 0 to 150 miles an hour. I don't know, maybe not 150. Straight up a hill, and then you suddenly you go off and do roller coastery stuff. So we kick up this hill. We get to the top, and so we're going up. While you're shooting up the hill, they say lean back. Make sure you got your head back. She's there leaning forward, giving me the big cheesy thumbs up, and I'm like, yeah, cool, watch it. As we go up, and you go left, right. I just watched her punch herself in the head because she's leaning forward, grinning at me, and she's just rattled her head and has punched herself fucking doolally I look at it and I was like, I think she's unconscious halfway through the ride. She's like, we get to the end. She comes off. She's got a concussion. Mate, this girl, this date went downhill so quickly. So already I've taken her to stay in some sort of Mexican village. And then she's like, why is this place so shit? Why have you booked this place? And I've gone, because I got this girl to book it. And then she's like, wait, who's that girl? What, that girl? And I was like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
What, the girl that you used to be with?
No, I wasn't with her. But
enough said. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. and then she goes, so then she had concussion. And I was like, oh, fuck. So she's like, broken, and she's like, so we take her back to the hotel, rest up and all this sort of stuff, have a few hours. She goes, I'm ready for that dinner, let's go to that dinner. So I go, okay, let's do it. We head into town, we go to this thing, it's a set menu. I go, all right, it's like £180 each. I'm like, I'm going in on this is going to be posh. Sit down there. She asks, this is a super posh restaurant, everyone's fine dined. I bought a shirt. It's the first time I'd ever worn a shirt out on a date, like a button up.
Flashy man.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And I bought her a dress. I was like, mate, I'm rocking it. Next thing you know, she's there. She takes one bite of the salad, turns bright green, runs out, throws up all over the place, says, let's go home. We went home. She was fuming at me for making her go out, even though I hadn't made her go out. We went back, went to the hotel, weren't talking, woke up the next day to leave, went back for a Eurostar. As we're going through, they're like, where's your visa? And because she's Australian, your visa in England runs out soon. Basically, they were like, we're going to have to contact your employer and all this sort of stuff and make sure you leave the country. She ended up getting deported. Boom. That is why...
Oh, my God!
That's why I'm not with her anymore. Well, no, and also because I love my wife.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I lucked out. But yeah.
Lord, I'm sorry, but your story of Disneyland...
So that's why I don't like Disneyland.
Trumps mine.
Great story of Disneyland, man.
Yeah.
I pissed myself then and pissing myself now.
I mean, to our listeners, we're basically saying just don't go to Disneyland in winter or you might get
just
deported.
Trauma.
Or
So funny.
Many random things
Some
might occur.
sort of bad...
But
something.
I've never been to Disneyland Paris, but I've been to Paris and I went in December and I had a great fucking time.
The rest of the city's lovely.
I had a great fucking time. So the Arc de Triomphe, the Champs-Élysées, the Eiffel Tower. Day drank for 2 days straight. Went to the Moulin Rouge, or tried to go to Moulin Rouge. We went to a bar instead and got pissed. But I had a great time in Paris, mate. Nothing near your traumas, bro.
And I just recommend anyone out there, don't take people to Paris for romance. It's not a romantic place.
Oh yeah. Well, I've never done that either. So
don't do it.
Noted. You heard it here on the Irrational Review. If you want to have romance,
don't go Paris.
Don't go to
it's
Paris.
not the land of...
Don't believe the movies.
Exactly.
It's just a lie.
Man.
We've spent quite a lot of time talking about quite a few things today. And if you've enjoyed the program or enjoyed listening to us talk this nonsense, please make sure you give us 5 stars on whatever medium you're choosing to enjoy our podcast on.
Like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe, yeah.
Like, subscribe.
Much appreciated.
Those are the terms.
Like, subscribe, and 5 stars rating, please.
Share. Don't forget to share.
So you find us on Apple Music and Spotify, I'm sure. If you're listening there, give us a like, give us a subscription.
Tell a friend.
Have you had some fun?
I had a great time, man.
Always,
Love
always.
chatting with you fellas.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Man, you not
I
crack
always
me
feel
up.
like I'm slightly broken afterwards, but hey.
Yeah, man.
It's the sharing.
Good therapy, man. You know,
it is,
get that shit out.
I've never seen a man cry so hard.
Mate, I'll tell you, I just remember that story and I just, brilliant.
Yeah, it was a tough
Thank you
time.
very
It was a
much,
tough
man.
time.
Thank you.
Thanks for
That was
enjoying my
great.
pain.
The pair of you.
Yeah, thanks for enjoying my pain. And T, thanks for helping me get over that pain by knowing you went through something
man.
similar.
That's what friends are for.
Friends are for,
Exactly.
right?
Tune in again next week for more ramblings from us. We have been the Irrational Review. I am Tinashé for Zachary. This is Bobby Kane.
Peace out.
And Vino Verez White.
Yeah, stay fresh, guys.
We'll catch you very soon. Bye-bye.
Nice.
So if you've enjoyed...
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So if you've enjoyed the episode today and you are definitely keen to hear more, please make sure you subscribe to our program. Our podcast is called The Irrational Review. You can find us, if you're not already listening, on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can give us 5 stars and that will make sure that we're able to be found very, very easily on those mediums. Like, subscribe, and like.
And follow.
And follow.
Share.
If you want to find us on social media, you can find us on Instagram.
At Irrational Review.
That was very, very well done, Vino. I like that. That was
At
deep
Irrational
tones.
Review.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and join us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Music. I have been Tinashé for Zachary. This has been Bobby Kane
Peace out.
and Vino Perez White.
Yeah, stay fresh, guys.
We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Irrational Review. You are tuned in to one of the most celebrated, coveted podcasts on planet Earth. Probably in our own opinions, to be fair, but that's not actual factual information. Don't quote me on that. I am Tinashé for Zachary, otherwise known as Irrationale. This is the Irrational Review. I'm joined by best friends of many, many years to discuss things that we probably know not very much about, to be honest with you, and share our opinions on the goings-on of life in general. I'm joined today by Mr. Bobby Kane
That's me.
and Vino Perez White.
Yeah, how are you doing, guys?